name is Kennedy Hall. I'm a senior at Geoff High School, and I did my service while I was working at the hardware store, and I went to one of our care centers in Nephi and helped them during dinner time and got their food ready for them and sat them down and just got them comfortable and ready to eat. And I also babysat some younger kids, and I did that to see the diversity in the older generation and the younger kids, to see how their nonverbals were different and the different actions that they did while speaking. And so I'm going to start with a video about, it's kind of a funny one about some older guys. And ever since working at the hardware store, I've really grown to love older people and the way that they communicate and just how different they are than my generation and the generation below me. So we'll start with that video.
A few weeks ago, we did a segment on love where we talked to senior citizens about how it used to be. Well, in doing so, we met these two guys that I instantly took a liking to. Two guys that I wanted to learn more about. So today, we're spending the afternoon with Harvey and Eddie.
Here we are!
Hello, gentlemen.
Betty!
How old are you guys?
This man's 85, I'm 87.
85, hold it. Where you get that book?
What number are you?
I'm 80. I'm going to be 84. Although there's snow on the roof.
There's fire in the belly.
You better believe it.
You like to take nice walks every now and again.
Oh,
I walk every day.
You try to keep young. Do you guys like go out and party?
Party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Party.
7 o'clock at night, I'm in bed, and I have my party.
Now, I want to talk pop culture with you guys because life is a little bit different than when you were kids.
For example, give me an example.
Are you guys on Facebook?
I prefer to talk to somebody face to face.
What has happened to letter writing?
That's disappearing.
They disappear, but I still write letters to my
Hello there.
grandchildren. That's very
I
important.
am doing
think
fine. I
we're
can't
missing
talk to you right now
a
because
stage of
Channel
life
4 is here. We're
of
doing
letter
the
writing
program.
that is
But I will call you later. When are you leaving for Florida?
So you guys like old music. I'm going to play you some new music, and you tell me if you like it, okay?
just yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, no comment. Just do I like it or don't like it?
Whether you like it or not.
I go for that. You can dance to that. It's good moves.
I don't like the tom-toms in the background.
Oh, no, that's nice.
The voice is not too bad, but
That's not the
it's
move.
not music that I would spend
Good.
any time
It
with.
moves you.
Let's do word association with like current pop culture. I'll throw a couple words at you. You tell me what the first thing that pops into your mind is.
Okay.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games? Food?
Snooki.
No, oh, Nookie. What
Nookie.
Oh,
When we were young, they
Nest.
said,
Nookie. I
any
know what.
Nookie?
Yeah, Nookie was a big word in those
did you get
days.
any nookie?
This is the next song.
Okay.
It's rap. It's rap music.
Buddha, 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 what?
What's he talking about?
Underwear. Buddha, 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 underwear.
What do you think the letters OMG stand for?
Oh, miles per gallon.
Lindsay Lohan wants your advice. What do you tell her?
Come live with me.
If you guys were in a band, what would the band name be?
Ups and downs.
Mostly ups, I hope.
How about this? You guys play me a song that you want to hear.
Okay. These vagabond shoes are yearning to stray.
That video is kind of funny, and it put into perspective how different the older generation is than us and the generation below us, and it gave us an example of music. And I like that example because they didn't really like our music. They were leaning towards their music, and they went back to what they used to listen to when they were little. And it's kind of funny to see how age can change a person and how their attributes can be so different than what our attributes are today. And I learned that in my service, the age really does matter. And when I was at the care center, they said I couldn't give out any names, so I can't tell you who it was. But there was one guy, he was very grateful. He was super quiet when I got there, but the first week I went, I just kind of watched and see how they ate their dinner and like who helped them and if the CNAs were as helpful as they probably should be. And I learned that they weren't very nice to the people there. They were they were respectful to him, but they weren't going out of their way to be super nice to him. But the second week I went, I actually helped them. I got their food ready for them and sat them down and got them ready to eat, and they were all very grateful for someone that was just willing to come and spend time with them and have fun and just get to know them and help them. And the younger kids that I was with, they just kind of expected someone to be there for them, just expected to have fun and get someone to hang out with them and play with them. And the people that I work with at work, they know that I'm a respectful person and will help the older people when they come in. So there's 2 customers that come in mind when I think of service, and one is Mike. He comes into the hardware store quite often to get just random little things he needs, but he's paralyzed from the waist down, so he can't move his legs at all. He can move his arms, but his hands are kind of hooked in a way that he can't really even use them at all. So he needs help every time he comes in, and he has to have someone get his wallet out for him and put the card in, and he tells him his PIN number, and just he needs help with everything he does. So at the beginning of when I started working there, I helped him and wasn't super like directed towards him. He kind of likes when the other guys help him better than when me and some of the other girls help him, but he's still very grateful for what we do for him, and he likes coming in the store because everyone's always nice to him, and it's kind of not that way when he goes other places. He's told us that when he goes into even the grocery store, that people aren't very nice and they look at him weird when he asks them to get out his card, and when he tells them their PIN number, they're kind of shocked. And we just know that he needs help, and we need to help him and be respectful to him. The other customer I was thinking of, her name's Patty. She is probably 85 years old, and her son is in the middle of remodeling her house right now, just kind of doing some renovations and making it more accessible for her to live in. So the first time she came in, I helped her. She was looking for some paint, and she didn't know what to put on the walls, and she explained to me what room she was doing and the furniture that was in it, and she trusted me enough to pick out the paint for her. She had me pick the color, and then I mixed up the paint for her, and she went back and her son painted it, and a few days later she came back with a picture of her new room, and it was newly painted, and she was very grateful for the example that I showed her and the love that I showed her to pick out the paint for her and just respect her in every way that is kind of expected. And the kids that I was with, they were nice kids. They're really respectful. They're some of our neighbors, and they have really great parents. They raised them right. They're members of the church, and I see them all the time, but their parents were gone one day, so I went and helped them, just kind of took care of them, made them dinner, stayed over at their house with them, and when we got up the next morning, they were all worn out because we had played so hard the night before, and then we made them breakfast, and their parents were coming home around lunchtime that day, and they came home and they were just telling their parents how grateful they were that me and another one of my friends, they went over there with me too, and they were just grateful that we played with them and were happy with them and didn't get frustrated as easily as their parents did with them. But the service was really fun for me. I noticed that the age depends and decides how we communicate. We have different attributes, and some of the ways we communicate are different. The older people are more respectful and down to earth, and younger kids, they're still respectful, but they talk in a way that is new to this generation, and the older generation is very respectful and knows that respect is mandatory, and the younger kids were nice but could have been nicer. And one of the things we talked about was that the closer the relationship you have, the more willing someone's going to be to open up to you. And I realized that to be true through just working at the hardware store. We always nice to everyone that comes in, but Patty, especially the first time I met her, she was kind of quiet and didn't trust me enough. Like, she didn't let me pick out her paint the first time, but after I helped her the next several times she came in, she was very, very willing to trust me to make that decision for her. And she knows that she can trust me and I can be nice to her. And the older generation knows that young kids maybe aren't as trustworthy as they could be, and they take that extra time to trust people and to get to know them before they trust them with certain things, and younger kids kind of just trust everyone. But I liked learning the different communications and watching the nonverbals of the different generations and different genders, even to see the differences and